We are live and we are going to talk so much Phoenix Suns basketball. There's lots to talk about as we are just days away to the 2025-26 Phoenix Suns season, or what I'm going to say a million times is a brand new era of Phoenix Suns basketball. You guys are going to get sick of me saying that, but it is so true. You guys already know the drill here. Let's do a quick mic check. Let's make sure we're looking and sounding good. Thank you for everybody who is tuning in. Thank you for everybody who's going to tune in later. Either way, I appreciate the support. If you guys are new here, my name is Brandon, aka Suns Geek, and if it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. So subscribe for everything Phoenix Suns. And we got lots to talk about today, guys. This is going to be a fun show. I wanted to get you guys a little bit involved, and later in the show, or maybe like in the middle of the show, we're going to get your guys' predictions, like record predictions, season predictions, your hot takes. I have some of them from my Instagram, which, by the way, follow me on Instagram. The little ticker is going down here. You guys can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, etc. But get active in the chat. Let me know in the chat what you guys think our record's going to be. Any other like season predictions, maybe a hot take thrown in there. And if you guys want to, you don't have to. If we have time, maybe throw in another random NBA team and give them a prediction or a record, something like that. Like a team, another team's record or something like that. Thank you, Brian. And thank you, MC Cole. Appreciate the feedback. All right, guys, let's do it. With the little show notes out of the way, so much to talk about as the Phoenix Suns preseason has come and gone. Kind of went by fast, but I think I'm okay with that. Just pull up my correct notes here. Here we go. But yeah, so they went 3-1 in the preseason, which I know, it's just preseason. I get it. I don't care. Phoenix Suns basketball is back in our lives. And I don't know how many games we're going to win this season, you guys. But the Phoenix Suns actually looked pretty good in preseason. They looked so much better than they did last year. And that was a team with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. It's crazy to think, like, those two guys are now gone from our team. It's wild, man. And also, you guys, not only did the Suns go 3-1 in the preseason, but they had 2 games all the way in China, which I believe was like a 7 to 10 day trip or something like that. They had like 3 games or 2 games in 3 days, and it was a lot. And then they had to fly back. I don't even know if they had like a day off really, because they jumped right back into training camp to kind of like reprogram their brains and their minds, because it was just so much travel. I think it was like a 17-hour flight or something like that. Cannot imagine. But I'm glad that they, that they had fun in China, and that definitely is going to help the team bonding, the chemistry of this team. Friendships were most likely made during this trip. And I think it's a great opportunity anytime an NBA team gets to go overseas. And it's great for all those fans. Check out the Suns social media pages and all the love and feedback that the Suns got while they were there. So the Phoenix Suns go 3-1 in preseason. And according to NBA.com, I'm going to read you some stats that I find most important. And I know it's not all about stats and everything, but I do want to read this to you guys. According to NBA.com, the Suns averaged 114 points per game. And remember, you guys, Jalen Green didn't play. Mark Williams didn't play. More on them later, by the way. And, it's preseason. So even though a lot of our veterans and guys were playing, it was limited minutes. And then a lot of like the second and third string and younger players got to play. So we were 114 points per game. That's not bad. They shot 44% from the field during the preseason. But my biggest sort of thing that I'm going to focus on for a while going into the regular season and more and longer is the Suns' 3-point attempts. And I feel like I kind of focus on that every year, but specifically with this year, because it's a brand new era. It's a new team. It's a younger, more athletic, and hopefully, fingers crossed, more competitive team. But again, we're younger. So I really want to focus in, especially during the preseason and the start of the regular season, on how many 3-point attempts the Suns attempted in preseason. They attempted 40 threes per game, which I think was top 5 during the preseason, if I read the stats correctly. And they were hitting them at a 32% clip. That's actually pretty good, you guys. I remember our first preseason game, we had like 40 something threes attempted. And I remember texting my guy, Thunderstash Gaming, one of my great friends, Steve. I was like, dude, I can't wait for the night when just the 3-point shots are falling. Like, we are going to be a tough team to beat when that actually happens. So again, you guys, just to recap, according to NBA.com, the preseason stats, 114 points per game, 44% from the field. But a number that I'm really focusing on is 40 threes per game were attempted, and we hit them at 32%, which is not bad, actually. Could be better, could be worse, but I'll take it, especially for a young team like the Suns. We also averaged 28 assists. 28 assists, you guys. That's actually good. But another great number for that is we only averaged 16 turnovers. And we're actually going to listen to something that I think it was Jordan Ott talking about. We only averaged 16 assists. If we can keep those turnover numbers low and get the assists up, again, you guys, we might win some ball games. You know, basketball sometimes can be very complicated, but basketball can also be so simple. You know what I mean? And here's another surprising stat, because we're going to listen to something here in a minute. We averaged 12.6 steals per game. That's not a joke. That's not a made-up number. We averaged 12.6 steals per game during the preseason. That was third amongst all teams in the preseason. That's wild. You know what I mean? I love that. Now let's go ahead and listen to this. We're going to hear, I believe, from head coach Jordan Ott, really about sort of a lot of the numbers that I talked about. And I like the way he describes it. Shout out to Dwayne Rankin for this clip. Now, it's like a 3-minute clip. I don't know if we're going to listen to the whole thing, but definitely the part where he's talking about the turnovers, because another stat before we jump into this, the Phoenix Suns forced 100 turnovers total in 4 preseason games, scoring 125 points off them. Let me repeat that. They forced 100 turnovers in just 4 games and scored 125 points off of those turnovers. That's insane. So, again, we're not really going to watch this whole clip. We might. We'll see. But let's listen to Suns head coach Jordan Ott about that very fact. Let me just do some work here. Where did my thing go? Sorry, guys. You already know the drill here. One-man show. Subscribe to Suns Geek for more one-man show kind of stuff. All right. So let's listen to the Suns head coach Jordan Ott. And let's make sure the volume's up. Okay. And here we go.
That you guys won the possession game, but just
Shout out
how
to
you guys
Dwayne
got to that number. What's standing out to you the most in that regard?
We're looking at those same numbers. Yeah, forcing turnovers has been good for us. Probably even better than what we've expected. It's so hard to tell exactly where it lands in the season because we played 2 teams basically twice. So, and they haven't had full rosters. We haven't had full rosters. So it's hard to know exactly where that lands. And we're going to keep preaching our defensive rebounding. We know at times we're probably a little bit on the smaller side. The Western Conference is big, so we'll keep stressing the defensive rebounding, trying to take care of that glass.
I'm curious do you have a shot goal, like how many shots you would like to average on a season?
No, I don't think so. I mean, every game is so different. Okay. Team you play, the style of play the other team has impacts all of that. So just more shots than the other team.
when it comes to threes? Is there a magic number there as well?
No, I don't think so. I think people get into that. A number of threes or a percentage of shots that are threes. I would prefer getting to the rim or to the free throw line over the threes. We understand, if you're a really good three-point shooting team, teams have to guard you a certain way, so then you get the higher value shots. But we'll just take high-quality shots wherever they come from.
To follow up on Jalen, I was curious, the delicate nature.
So we'll get back to Jalen. Well, he was about to ask about Jalen Green, but a few takeaways from what Jordan Ott said. Let's kind of listen to this part right here.
The Western Conference is big, so
Wait for it. We're going to read.
We'll keep stressing the defensive rebounding, trying to take care of that glass.
I'm curious do you have a shot goal, like how many shots you would like to average on a season?
No, I don't think so. I mean, every game is so different.
Okay.
Yep, he's right.
Team you play, the style of play the other team has impacts all of that. So just more shots than the other team.
That's funny. More shots than the other team. I love that. Again, you guys, it's funny. He's like, some people focus on how many threes are attempted and blah, blah. I was like, I'm one of those people. Jordan Knott's clearly not. But again, he did say more shots than the other team. That doesn't mean the Phoenix Suns are just going to let it fly every single possession. But there might be some nights, kind of like we sort of saw in the last preseason game, where it's just let it fly. All the young guys are out there. Something that Devin Booker was talking about, and I think Dwayne Rankin kind of did some reporting on this as well. Devin Booker recently talked about winning the Suns' possession, the possession game, and wanting more shots, wanting better shots. But like Jordan Ott just said, there's not really a number that they're really targeting. But in today's game, you guys know basketball, 3-point shots win you basketball games. So just have smart possessions, win the possession game, and just go out there and be a complete focused team. So again, I'm going to still keep my eye on the 3-point numbers. That's just me. But again, you guys, I cannot believe some of the stats I just read you. Third in steals during the preseason at 12.6. They forced 100 turnovers and scored 125 off those turnovers. I would have never expected that from a team that had a complete overhaul and is young and is in this new era. I don't know. That's just wild, man. All right, you guys. The show's going to be all over the place. Can we kind of focus? We're still going to talk about the preseason. Can we kind of talk about our big man position and really 3 of the 4 big men that we have? I know Oso Ighodaro is kind of like a forward center, but I want to talk about Nick Richards, Mark Williams, and Kaman Malawach. Definitely got lots to talk about with them. But before we continue, guys, first off, do me a huge favor. If you're watching the show live, please crush that like button. If you're watching later, please just take a second and crush that like button. It tells YouTube that I'm doing a good job over here. It helps support the channel. But do me a favor if you're watching in the live chat or later, it doesn't matter. Get in the comments. Let me know. What's your record prediction? What's your season prediction for the Suns? Do you have a hot take about the Suns? Or do you have a hot take about another NBA team? I'll do my best to read it. We're going to read you guys some stuff off Instagram as well, because I asked for you guys to put it in my Instagram and all of that. So we're going to read some hot takes and record predictions. Let me take a sip of my water, you guys, and we're going to talk about Nick Richards, because Nick Richards had a good preseason, you guys. Drinking out of my son's cup here. Sure some of you guys out there have this cup. I need to get a shelf or something to put my water right there. All right. Here we go, you guys. Nick Richards. First off, Nick Richards, every once in a while can throw down a flashy athletic dunk, right? I mean, he's a big man in the NBA. They all can do that, right? But there was a few flashes during preseason where I was like, whoa, Nick Richards just looks different, maybe re-energized, re-motivated. I don't know. But I like this tweet right here. Let me zoom in real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Sorry, guys. You already know the show, one man show here. Shout out to Sam from the Timeline podcast. And I like this tweet. Now, remember, this was, I believe, the day before the Suns' final preseason game, and then Nick Richards didn't even play in that game, so this still is true. But he said, underrated story of the preseason is that Nick Richards has been all around excellent, which could really put you in an awkward position given the desire to develop both Oso and Malawach. Richards is a plus 33 for all you plus minus fans with 29 points, 12 rebounds, and in just 39 minutes. And if you look at the numbers closely, he had a couple of assists here and there, a couple block shots, I believe. He just all around was really good. And again, had a few moments where he just was like throwing down hammer dunks and just being a beast out there, man. I was like, Nick Richards was good. And that is a positive sign, in my opinion. You know, Mark Williams, who we're going to get to in a minute, is most likely, not most likely, he is going to be like the starting center. And by the way, spoiler alert for something we are going to talk about. He is going to play, most likely, on opening night. But you know what, guys? Going back to Sam's tweet here, is this sort of like a good problem to have? Like the fact that you have, I don't want to say like I guess deep is the right word. You have a deep center rotation. And not only that, you have two young big men in Oso Ighodaro and Kaman Malawach, who we're going to get to Kaman Malawach in a minute, that you can develop. I think, even though Mark Williams is still a young player, I think Nick Richards and Mark Williams are going to be great veterans, mentors, leaders for, Oso Ighodaro and Kaman Malawach. I'm sure they've already rubbed off on those guys already. I mean, you got to think about that. This team, to my knowledge, has spent a lot of time together. They've had training camp. They've had the China trip. They've had the preseason games. It's like, you got to think Nick Richards and Mark Williams have had to already have some kind of impact on those two guys, not to mention all the other guys on the roster. And, again, I just love this tweet. Underrated story of the preseason is that Nick Richards has been all around excellent. It wasn't like Nick Richards was just good in like one certain area. No, like he was all around like really good. And he didn't even play that much. He did, but like he didn't. You know what I mean? A plus 33 with 29 points, 12 rebounds in 39 minutes, plus all the other numbers that I didn't read. And go back and look at some of his highlights. He was throwing down a couple dunks here and there. It was nice. I'm excited for Nick Richards. I know at first there was like a lot of trade buzz. Like when we got Mark Williams and when we got Kaman Malawach, it was like, oh, is Nick Richards kind of the odd man out here? But I think the Suns are like, hey, you know what? We can just have a plethora of big men and we'll see what happens. I'm not saying Nick Richards is untouchable or anything, but I'm okay with him still being on this team. And I think he's okay with it too. I hope that he has a good season. All right, guys, let's move on to Mark Williams here. I've talked about this a little bit on my channel. It might have been last live show. I might have made a YouTube short here and there. I'm not too sure, but check out this tweet earlier today from John Gambadoro of Arizona Sports. Shout out to Gambo, by the way. I got a chance to actually meet him in person at Suns Media Day, and it was awesome. He's a very nice guy. But Gambo says this, quote, belief is that Suns center Mark Williams will be ready for opening day. He has played 5-on-5 the last week and will get a few scrimmages in before next week's opener versus Sacramento on Wednesday. And I think I've seen a couple clips here and there of like him like running sprints, and I think Jordan Ott's talked about it. Like he's been working with the coaches. And from what I've heard, like Mark Williams has just been working. Like he has been making sure that he is going to be ready for opening night. I think even at one point he said he was going to be ready for opening night. And just like with Jalen Green, I am fine with that. I am fine with being patient with Mark Williams, making sure that he is ready to go for opening night. And I hope that he can play a lot of games this season. And I hope he has a great season as well. You know what I mean? Like, I've always liked Mark Williams. And when we got him, I was so hyped on draft day. I even clipped my reaction and uploaded it. Because one, I couldn't believe it. Like, we literally traded for Mark Williams. And then seconds later, boom, we drafted Kaman Malawach. Or it might have been in reverse order. Drafted Kaman Malawach, then immediately traded for Mark Williams. I loved it, man. That was such a crazy day. And by the way, I've made a YouTube short about this. I've talked about it in videos and stuff. But somebody asked Gambo, do you have any idea on the ETA on Jalen Green? And Gambo said he is going to miss the first game. I would expect him back shortly, maybe miss 2 and 3, but most I don't see him bearing a setback, missing a lot of time. And then I made a YouTube short about this less than 24 hours ago. Gambo actually responded to one of my tweets and said that, he will be back hopefully, by the 5th game. He's definitely going to miss the first game, maybe the second and third, which kind of sucks. It would have been nice to at least see him in one preseason game, you know what I mean? But, whatever. Again, kind of like with Mark Williams and stuff. Let's get these guys fully healthy. Let's get them ready. And then let's just hit the ground running. You know what I mean? So, again, just to recap, you guys, belief is that Sun Center Mark Williams will be ready to go for opening day, playing 5-on-5. He's been in the gym. He's been working. And hopefully Jalen Green won't miss more than 5 games. Hopefully he'll be back within the 5th game. Also, you guys, let's continue on with the big man talk, the Suns' big man talk. Doesn't it feel good to, first off, be kind of having this conversation? The fact that we have so much potential at the big man center position. It really is sort of a deep center position. You know what I mean? Again, you have Mark Williams, who's 23 years old. When the dude plays, he is a double-double machine. And I know he's got the injury history and blah, blah, blah. When he plays, he's a beast. And then you have Nick Richards, who is a valuable backup center. We just got done talking about him. He looked really good in the preseason. And he even had a few games here and there last season where he showed flashes of what he could do. And he was just a valuable center last season, too. And then you throw Kaman Malawach, who we're going to talk about in a second here, and Oso Ighodaro, who are both young forwards, centers, whatever you want to call them, in the mix. Is there anybody else I'm forgetting about? Is there any other big men on this team that I'm forgetting about? That is a deep center rotation. So let's talk about Kaman Malawach, shall we? Because he did play here and there during the preseason, but his real breakout game, if you will, was against the Lakers. And, I made a YouTube, I think I talked about this in a video, but Kaman Malawach was awesome. 17 points, 8 boards, 3 steals, 2 blocks, one of them on DeAndre Ayton, by the way, 2 assists, and he was 8 for 10 from the field. And of course, it was just one of those special nights where he was wide open and he took a 3. He did that during the Suns Summer League, which I was at, and he did it. I think he might have made one and missed the other. But when he's open, he's going to shoot it. And you know what? You're a young rookie in this league. Come on, Malawach. I think you barely just turned 19. Let it fly, dude. Let it fly. Come on, Malawach. I even uploaded a YouTube short where Jordan Knott, it was from Media Day. He pretty much said this kid's got so much potential. He's working, he's in the gym, but we also have to remember he's 19 years old. I hope he gets enough run this season. I really do. But remember, he's a 19-year-old rookie, but the dude has so much. His wingspan is literally off the charts. He is just a giant, tall man. You know what I mean? It's going to be fun to see this kid develop. And that's what I was saying. I hope that Mark Williams and Nick Richards can be a good mentor and a good veteran and really help him grow this season. Okay, let's see. There was actually, hold on. I can't take credit for this, but I remember I did tweet it out when he said it. Speaking of Come On Malawatch, we have to listen to this clip real quick because somebody I forgot who tweeted it out, but this clip comes from Ridiculous Cage, who's a great follow on Twitter. But Come On Malawatch was talking to Amanda Pflugrad, after the Suns Lakers preseason game. She asked like, "Oh, the trip from China, are you tired?" And Come On Malawatch said, and I quote, "Tired is just in the mind." Let's listen to this.
Came back from China. You don't look too tired out there, though. Are you tired?
Man, tired is just in the mind.
That's so good.
Man, tired is just in the mind.
And somebody tweeted, they were like, "Come on, Malawatch, you have to trademark. Tired is just in the mind," like immediately. Seriously, come on, Malawatch. If you are watching this show, which I know you are not because you are way too busy to watch my show. You probably don't even know who the hell I am. But if you are for some reason, please trademark "Tired is just in the mind." If that was on a t-shirt and it said like "Come on, Malawatch" under it, I would buy that in like a second, dude. Please trademark that. That was so good, man. I feel like the China trip probably was rougher on the veterans than it was for the rookies. But I remember reading something that they had like an actual like lights out schedule, which makes sense. I mean, you're traveling 17 plus hours or whatever to a completely different country. Yeah, like you're not staying up all night for that. You know what I mean? Thank you guys who are getting active in the chat. I do appreciate it. Again, you guys, I'll try to get to all of them, but we're definitely gonna read some of your predictions, hot takes. We might even talk about a couple other NBA teams, all that fun stuff. Now, real quick, you guys, there's one more thing. I have to find it. I thought I had it ready to go. There's one more thing I think I want to read about Nick Richards, and I felt like this was pretty important. Let me just find it. Hold on, you guys. My apologies. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. Yes, thank you, John Gambadoro, for this. I'm so glad he tweeted this out. So going back to Mark Williams, just real quick, you guys. Today, there's been a few rookie extensions. Like I think like Keegan Murray got one from Sacramento recently, but Bobby Marks of ESPN and Tim Bontemps, they did a whole bunch of like rookie extension deals, and they broke it all down and stuff. Now I didn't read it, but John Gambadoro quote tweeted Bobby Marks because Bobby Marks has been on Arizona Sports a lot, and he just seems like a great guy. I love Bobby Marks. I've been following that guy for years. But John Gambadoro quote tweeted this, and I feel like it's really important. Remember, we're talking about Mark Williams here. Quote from John Gambadoro of Arizona Sports: "I would not expect the rookie extension for Mark Williams." Remember, guys, he's on a 1-year deal, but he's a restricted free agent. So I would not expect the rookie extension for Mark Williams. With his injury history, just better to play out the season and see how much he plays and how well he plays. He is a good player when healthy. He would be a restricted free agent, just like we talked about. So the Suns have a lot of control. They may just have to pay him more if he crushes it in a contract year, which I think I'm fine with that. This is sort of like a kind of a prove it year. And I'm not just talking about his health, but like prove to the Phoenix Suns and really the NBA that you are this true double-double machine who's 23 years old, who has a bright future in this league. Like, show us. And this is a great opportunity. Even if Mark Williams was still with the Hornets, and I know they're a completely different team, completely different situation and all that, but like you literally have like the green light to prove that you are this like double-double machine and all that. So again, I like what John Gambadoro said. I would not expect the rookie extension for Mark Williams. Play out this season. Show us that you can, one, be healthy, and two, that you can play well when you're healthy. and you're a restricted free agent. So the Suns have a lot of control. And even if we have to pay you more later, that's fine. Just prove it. And this is the kind of team, in my opinion, the kind of season, the kind of coaching staff that will, that will let him prove it. So, yeah. I'm excited for Mark Williams, though. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that he, one, only stays healthy, but that he can just have a great season, All right. More stuff I want to talk about, you guys. Again, this show is jumping all over the place. Let me take a sip of my water. All right. Aaron, I'm going to call you out real quick, bro. Did you take my name or did I take your name? Because I went by a certain geek name, and then I don't know, man. I would debate that. I don't know. Much love, though. Thank you for actually taking the time to tune in, bro. Check your text messages later, too, by the way. Okay. Let's see. Alan says, took me a while to warm up to the Suns geek, but he's not too bad, especially when he has guests on. Hey, thanks, man. I'm a nice guy. I'm a normal person just like you. But yeah, I do want to get more guests on. Definitely this season, All right, let's see. Alan says, Man is the Malawatch Tower. I like that. I don't know who came up with that, but I like that. I think my guys over at the Suns Jam Session podcast, I believe they're going to be doing the whole. Remember when they did the whole Aiton watch? I think they're going to be doing the whole Malu watch now. I believe that's what they're doing. Brian says, Suns geek for president. That's so funny. All right. Let's see here. Can we talk about, because a lot of this live show has been about, the big man position, our depth at that position. But I saw this going around, especially after Jared Butler's insane 35 point performance. And I don't even care if it's preseason, you guys. He was cooking that night. I even tweeted out a certain GIF of like Damian Lillard because like the way that he was moving, like it reminded me of Damian Lillard. Now I know it was preseason and blah blah blah. It's like, it is what it is. Like some guys, some nights, guys just have that green light and just everything's cooking. It was just one of those special nights, right? But like Jared Butler that night was just so special. Every time I would see a highlight from Jared Butler, I was like, damn, I was like, that looks just like Damian Lillard, man. He was cooking. But speaking of Jared Butler, and speaking of Jared, shout out to my guy, Jared. Oops, that's not what I wanted to click. Speaking of my guy, Jared, appreciate you being here, man. Long time, my friend. Appreciate you, bro. Hopefully we can hang out soon too, man. Let's see. Real quick, you guys, Gambo is counting down his days until he retires. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I met him at Media Day, you guys. He was such a nice guy. It sucks that he's retiring, but I hope after he does, he'll still like give us Suns news and all that stuff like he does. Gambo is only like 55. That's funny. Yeah, but he's like done this for like forever. What, 29 years or something like that? That's funny. Okay, let's focus here. So, going back to Jared Butler, you guys. I like this tweet. This is from one of my favorite follows on Twitter, Thomas Bucket 78. And I like his profile thing. If you go on his profile, it says endless pain, because I think he's just like a true Arizona sports fan. And I know he's a Suns fan because I've been following him for years. His thing, like, I'll hover over it. I don't know if it's going to pop up, but it just says endless pain. That's so funny. All right. The point that I'm trying to get here without being too long-winded He tweets out, there's room for Butler and Goodwin in his opinion, which we're going to talk about that. He goes, guards, Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Grayson Allen, Colin Gillespie, Jared Butler, and Jordan Goodwin. That's a lot of guards, you guys. Then he continues on. The wings, the chicken wings, not chicken wings, the awesome, tasty, delicious defensive wings. Ryan Dunn, Dylan Brooks, Royce O'Neal, Rasheer Fleming, Nigel Hayes Davis. And then we already talked about the big man position, Mark, Malawach, Oso, Richards. Put them in whatever order you want with all of those. Obviously, we don't have a point guard. I know there's been some talk about that. Do the Suns need a point guard? Blah, blah, blah. We had a point guard last year, and it didn't really work out too well. What I see from this tweet and really just the Suns roster in general is the Suns have a lot of combo guards. They just have a lot of guards in general. And I think I'm okay with that. I know that we can spend a lot of time in the future talking about Devin Booker, point guard, blah, blah, blah. Jalen Green can play some point guard, blah, blah, blah. We just have a lot of guards, a lot of combo guards, a lot of guards that can do a lot of different things. So Devin Booker's most likely going to lead the Suns, in assists. Oh, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. He's most likely going to lead the team in assists this season. So if we get some point Book in there, that's fine. Maybe some point Jalen Green. We have a lot of guards. But to kind of focus on the actual topic here, there's room for Jared Butler and Jordan Goodwin. I'm cheering for both of these guys. One, because Jordan Goodwin played on the Suns, a couple years ago, and I was a fan of him then, still a fan of him now. And then Jared Butler. Like, this guy's been kind of a journeyman, and he's still so young, but like he showed what he can do. And by the way, Jordan Goodwin that same night had like 24 points on like really good shooting. Like, both of these guys can play. They can be good backup guards. So it might look crazy. And I think one of the responses from this tweet was like, what about Kobe Bryant? And that got me thinking, well, yeah, what about like the other two-way guys? Like, I think we have a couple other guys plus Kobe Bryant that are on two-way contracts. Remember, you can only have 15 players on your roster by the opening night of the NBA, which is, or should I say I think it's opening night of the NBA. And especially when the Suns play on the 22nd, you have to have your 15-man roster. Thank God we got a G League. Thank God we got a G League team now. Say what you want about Matt Ishbia, but he brought back G League basketball to the Valley. No thanks to you, Robert Sarver, who sold our team. Sold the G League Suns, the Northern Arizona Suns. So we can send guys like Kobe Bryant, for example, to the G League. And, but if we need them, we can call them back up. So there might be room for both Jared Butler and Jordan Goodwin. And we'll just have this huge team of a lot of combo guards and a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. I'm not really worried about who can bring the ball up anymore, because we got like our forwards can do that. Some of our centers can do that. And then you can give it to Devin Booker and Jalen Green, let them set up the offense and just let the three ball fly. Let the Suns get into their offense. Ooh, and by the way, if there's one preseason takeaway that I hope we can actually all agree on, I got to full screen myself for this. Can we all agree, or at least most of us agree, because Suns fans never agree on anything. Can we mostly agree that the Suns did not look stagnant during the preseason? They were actually moving around, setting screens, backdoor cutting. The hustle, the energy, the effort was there. And I'm not just talking about the young guys. I'm talking about almost every player, if not every player on this team. That was one preseason takeaway that I'm so glad I just got to say. Shout out to my brother. Appreciate you being here, man. He says, I hope we get more Suns games on local TV. I'm going to talk about that later because Matt Ishbia has done a great job of giving the whole state of Arizona access to watch games. And he says, I got a good feeling about this year. Same here, man. I was telling my brother and other members of my family that, like, this team actually looks connected. They actually look like they give a crap this year. And I was like, we had more fun in one preseason game than we did most of last season. You know what I mean? Yeah, somebody says, I hope Butler makes it. Me too, man. Like, if that game didn't earn him a roster spot, I don't know what will. Hopefully he's killing it too in like practices and training camp and all that. You know. All right, guys. Let's see here. So again, I hope both Jared Butler and Jordan Goodwin make it. There is the Suns roster as of right now, and I think I have another tweet about that too. At least I thought I did. There was a tweet where it kind of like showed our depth chart, but it didn't show like every player. But, you know, that's pretty much what we're looking like, you guys. I cannot preach this enough. You're going to get so sick of me saying it. As of right now, the Phoenix Suns are more athletic. They are younger. I feel like we have some depth on this team. And again, I am hoping and praying that we will be more competitive this season. That's all Suns fans can ask for, considering how bad, disappointing, et cetera, last season was, you know. Oh, here it is. Here's what I was trying to think of. The lead SM tweeted this out. Now, again, this is just like most of the roster, not all of it. And it's kind of what we talked about. Point guards, Devin Booker, Jared Butler, question mark. Shooting guards or combo guards, whatever you want to call them. Jalen Green, Grayson Allen. I think that's fair to say. Small forward, slashing forward, whatever forward. Ryan Dunn, Royce O'Neal. We'll just call them the wings. And then power forward, Dylan Brooks. Do not underestimate Dylan Brooks as your power forward. And then Oso Iguodaro, power forward. And then your centers, Mark Williams, come on, Mala watch. But I think he forgot to maybe mention Nick Richards in there. But, you know, that's just one person's tweet. But, again, these are kind of like our main guys. Now, again, he totally missed Nick Richards in there. Jared Butler, you know, Jordan Goodwin is still up for debate, all that stuff. But, you know, there is our team. That is, at the time of this video, at the time of this recording, these are your 2025-26 Phoenix Suns. What I call, we need to come up with like a name for like this new era of Suns basketball. We need to come up with something, you know? Can it be the tired is just in the mind Phoenix Suns? Can it be the young and fun Suns? I think Kevin Ray said something like that. He was like, they were like going to commercial break. He was like, he said something like the young and fun Suns or the run and gun Suns. Why can't that be what this team's called? The run and gun Suns. Now they're going to have to prove it. They're going to have to actually run and gun, and they're actually going to have to be competitive and fun. But we got to come up with a name, you guys. All right, more to talk about. Here's some like preseason reactions from some of my favorite people on Suns Twitter. And these are people who I have a lot of respect for and all that. Zona Hoops, or that's what he was formerly known as. AZ Sports Zone, one of my favorite follows on Twitter. Saw him at Media Day saw him at Media Day this year. Sat next to him at Media Day the year before. Very nice guy. Got to get him on the channel. He used to be on Locked On Suns and so many other podcasts. He is a great follow. Go follow him right now if you don't already. But he says, it's just preseason, goes both ways. Sure, we can't take it too seriously, which I do that because, one, I have a Suns Geek YouTube channel. I have to take it seriously. But he says, but the fact that the Suns have been locked in for, quote, just preseason is a testament to Jordan Ott and his staff. I love this tweet. I love that. That's why I got to get you on the channel. Got to get you on the channel, man. And then Espo from PHNX follows that up. Bingo. It's can't get too high, can't get too low. Exactly. But really this last part of the tweet. But the fact that the Suns have been locked in for just preseason, just 4 preseason games, is a testament to Jordan Ott and his staff. Remember, you guys, Jordan Ott is a first-year head coach. He's had years of experience in coaching. He was on one of the best teams in the league for years, the Cleveland Cavaliers, like last year especially. Tons of coaching experience, but he's a first-year head coach. And a lot of his coaching staff is very young too. So the fact that the Suns look locked in, they're playing as a team, they're having fun as a team, like they're jumping up and down on the bench. I think it was it Jared Butler or Jordan Goodwin who did that whole like the celebration with his hands? They had the whole China trip. There had to have been team bonding and chemistry building on that trip. They had training camp. And a lot of this was like boom, boom, boom. Like these guys barely had any days off. I was kind of surprised that the Suns had training camp the same night that they did the Suns Fan Fest, which I was at, by the way. Filmed a vlog about it. Go check it out. It's on the channel right now. I was surprised. I was like, dang, like these guys just had training camp like a few hours ago. These guys must be tired. You know, and then they had like more training camp. Then they went to China. I'm like, geez, guys, like I'd be exhausted if I was on the Suns right now, man. So shout out to Jordan Ott and his coaching staff for getting these guys locked in. I shouted him out on the channel earlier, but let's do a oops. Whoa, no, we do not want to do that. I almost clicked the wrong button. That would have been a disaster. Woo. I almost like clicked out of this whole thing. I would have been so mad if this stream ended. Again, this is just like preseason feedback, but shout out to my guy John Voida from the Suns Jam Session podcast. Tweets this out about Kobe Brea. Kobe Brea is giving major Cam Johnson energy, confident stroke, steady defense, that unbothered poise. It's early, but man, you can feel it. The dude's got Suns DNA all over him. And I saw a couple people in the chat earlier, like somebody asked, like, what's wrong with Kobe Brea, geek? I did talk about that in a YouTube short. He did let it fly a little too much. He was 2 for 14 in that final Suns preseason game. I understand it was the final preseason game. He hadn't played much prior to this. He kind of let it fly a little too much. But I mean, like, when you are one of, if not the best when you are one of, if not the best shooter in college basketball, what it was like 2 years running, let it fly. It's preseason, let it fly. If for some reason Kobe Brea does play in the first game, probably don't do that. Probably play smarter, probably play more team basketball, but the dude can shoot. He's very confident with it. I think his first preseason bucket, to my knowledge, was against Bronny James. And I'm not going to lie, if you go back and watch it, Bronny James actually did a decent job of guarding him, and he contested him well. And the ball kind of clanked up off the rim and it went in. But again, the fact that he had that confidence to do it, and the fact that he had the confidence just to let it fly, I'm okay with it. It was just kind of the numbers, like 2 for 14. I think he was 0 for 6 from 3. You know what I mean? So, yeah. All right. Let's get to a couple others, and then I think we're going to kind of get to some, we're going to get to like the predictions, hot takes. We're going to talk about some other stuff. Yeah. Let me just read one more tweet from my guy Flex from Jersey, one of my good friends. He's been on this channel before. I've hung out with him before. He's a good dude. He's actually going to be starting his own network and podcast soon. Can't wait for that. So shout out to my guy Flex from Jersey. Whenever that does launch, you guys, if you are a Flex from Jersey fan, like I hope a lot of you are, I'll make sure to like link it and share it, and hopefully we can get Flex on this channel too. All right. But Flex from Jersey tweets this out. With what I've seen so far, I'd go to war with this team right now as is. The chemistry, the alignment, if you know, the alignment, Brian Gregory, our GM, and cohesion are so noticeable, says Flex from Jersey. So he says, with what I've seen so far, I'd go to war with this team right now as is. The chemistry, the alignment, the cohesion are so noticeable. And he also tweets out, friendly reminder, we haven't even seen them yet with Jalen Green or Mark Williams. I think this team is going to surprise a lot of people. Boo. And he tweets out a great Dylan Brooks gif from the NBPA. And guys, that's a great tweet from my guy Flex from Jersey. If you're watching this show or this clip, we appreciate your Flex. Can't wait to get you back on the channel, man. The chemistry, the alignment, the cohesion are so noticeable. Like, guys, I don't think this is an overreaction. Like, the Suns had so much fun in like one preseason game and their trip to China. And that was more fun than we saw most of, if not all of last season. Man, can't wait. All right, guys. Let's focus on you for a minute. I'm going to literally pull up the chat so you guys can see the chat while I'm talking. And we're going to scroll all the way to the top. We are going to get to your predictions, hot takes, record predictions. I'm going to read some off of Instagram and Twitter. Let me take a sip of my water. Okay, let's see. Is this the top of the chat? That's weird. Why didn't it go? Does it go in reverse order? Oh, I have a super chat and I didn't even see it. I'm sorry. Let me just get to the super chat real quick, guys. Thank you to God FTW for the $1.99 super chat. That means a lot, man. And he says, not flashy roster, but refreshing to see. Appreciate the super chat, man. If you guys want, you can leave a super chat. It helps support the channel, helps support me. I also have Cash App if you want to do that. But I do appreciate any donations to this channel. But yeah, not a flashy roster, but refreshing to see the continuity. I love that. All right, well, let's find your guys' record predictions. Can I go all the way back up? I should be able. Yeah, okay, cool. So first off, the first record prediction comes from Brian, who says we're going to go 47 and 35. That's sort of like a record prediction and a hot take. Could you guys imagine if we win over 40 games this year? That'd be insane. MC Cole says record depends on Book staying healthy. I think he will take on the leadership role better than ever. Amen to that. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Sorry. A lot of comments here. Thank you guys for leaving all these great comments. Aaron says, Suns play with effort and as a team. They actually like each other. I don't care how many games they win. They are going to be fun to watch. Amen to that. And he also says, I think they have a chance to make the playoffs. Absolutely. We're going to get to that in a minute too, you guys. Let's see. Hernandez 150 says, I like this mentality because last year they were forcing threes. And I was like, bro, we had an easy two. You are so right about that. It was noticeable when the Suns were literally forcing threes. It was like they were doing it just to like send a message to Mike Budenholzer. It was so noticeable. All right. A Jesse says, our Phoenix Suns got a great coach. What's up, Suns Geek? Much love to you and everyone. Much love to you, Jesse. I appreciate the support, man. Let's get to some more records, hot takes, and predictions. We're going to read some off of Instagram and Twitter as well, but let me just get to the chat first because you guys deserve it. Let's see. Alan says, if we go 3-1 every 4 games, then we'd win at least 60 games. Just saying. We've had big turnarounds before. You just never know. Exactly. Do you guys remember which was one of my all-time favorite Phoenix Suns seasons ever? Do you guys remember the 2013-14 season? We were expected to win like 20-something games, be a lottery team, and we won 48 games that season, and we didn't even make the playoffs. That's how deep the West was back then, and kind of still is now. We won 48 games. We had a fun season, and at like nearly the end of the season, they were eliminated. That was before the play-in tournament too. And that's where it's like, Brian says 47 wins, and let's see if there's more. N Stackners says 44 Suns wins. That'd be amazing. Let's see if we can get some more. Sorry guys, let me just kind of catch up here. Wow, you guys left a lot of comments. I appreciate that. Well, keep getting your actually I think we're all cut up here. Yeah, keep getting your record predictions and stuff in. I'm going to read the ones off of Instagram, okay? So let's do that real quick cuz there's actually a couple things that people left that I want to get to. First off, let's start right here. Where is it? As you guys can see, I screenshotted it from earlier. I know it's kind of hard to see, but my guy, Real Zach Stone, says we are a sneaky 6th seed. So that means we'd probably have to win more than 40-something games for sure, probably like close to 50. But it is definitely possible. I could really see the Phoenix Suns making the play-in tournament. And Zach says we're a sneaky 6th seed. That would have to kind of depend on a lot of other teams. And then Justin Ingram 76 says Suns will be a 46-36 team bearing injuries. Love your work, brother. Thank you. Thank you so much, Justin. You are so kind. Appreciate your support, man. And then my friend Mary says during last preseason Suns game, Lakers had 28 free throws while we had 8, and we still won. I noticed that too. That was actually something I didn't talk about. Yeah, the Lakers got to the free throw line like a million times and we still won. But I actually have a current, feedback thing on my Instagram right now. So let's go ahead and look at that. Oops. Here we go. So I have two feedbacks right here. One of them I'm going to get to in a minute from my guy Charles, and I appreciate that because it's not really Suns related, but I do want to talk about it. Red Arrow X3 says they're going to be a top defensive team and be 2nd place in the West. So that's a hot take right there. But I don't really, how do I say this? I can kind of agree, and I would hope that like the Suns will be a top defensive team no matter how many games they win. But I could definitely just see them being just an annoying, pesky, like when you play the Phoenix Suns, you're gonna break a sweat. You know what I mean? Like, I hope we are one of those teams where it's like, damn, like the Phoenix Suns are just suffocating us on defense, man. I don't think I've talked enough about the Suns defense during the preseason. Like, guys actually contested shots and hustled on defense. And a lot of those defensive plays worked in our favor and led to offense, man. All right, let's go to Twitter because there were some feedback from Twitter. And some of these are like hot takes and stuff like that. Hold on, my Twitter's not working. Let's see. Okay. Let's just make sure I didn't miss it. So I asked you guys, I'm going to share my screen real quick. Let's go boom. Let's remove the chat temporarily. So I asked you guys, I was like, send me your prediction or, record predictions, hot takes, etc. I'll read them on the show. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay. So I got a couple of feedback here from Desert Dog 22. And he says, I think we'll go like 37-45, which I know that that's not a playoff team, unless for some reason we sneak into the play-in tournament. But winning 37 games in this kind of new era of Suns basketball with a young roster would actually be kind of nice. I mean, you got to think some lottery teams barely win 20-something games. If we could win 37, that'd actually be pretty impressive. But he goes on to say, but hopefully the rookies and second-year players take big steps. Amen to that. Our future looks bleak in terms of draft picks. He's not saying our future looks bleak. He's just saying draft picks look bleak. But if we hit on Malawatch and Dunn develops, Fleming becomes the player he should become, we'll be okay. I agree with that. I'm not even thinking of the draft. I'm not even thinking about future draft picks because we have so much young talent on this roster. I do not care about our draft picks right now. And then he responds to a tweet and he just says, and Mark Williams is young enough to think that if he remains healthy, we can have one of the best center, rotations in the league, which I agree with. We talked a lot about that. Joe from Charlotte says, if healthy, 39 wins, if not 28. Hot take. Dylan Brooks will be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. That would be awesome. Both of those would be great. I mean, not winning 28 games, but winning 39 wouldn't be bad either. Shout out to my guy Justin. So says Jay from the Fanning the Flames podcast. Go check them out. He says Devin Booker and Kendall Jenner get back together. Oh my goodness. And then my guy Boyd from the Aussie Suns fan podcast says Suns go on a 10-game win streak in the first half of the season. Then he follows that up and says, F it, 12-game win streak. And I quote tweeted him saying, ball. That'd be awesome, you guys. We would get a lot more national attention, social media attention if we even won like 7 games in a row. A 10-game win streak in the first half of the season, that'd be awesome. And then there's one more. Oops, I think I clicked out of it. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. My prediction is a 500 team, slightly less, to be honest. We'll see. Let's take it game by game. Jordan Ott kind of talked about that. Just take it game by game, you guys. And we'll see what happens. Okay, let's make sure I didn't miss any. Because we might change the chat to, or should I say this podcast, this show, whatever you want to call this. We might change it to kind of just some NBA talk. But let me just catch up on the comments real quick. The preseason games were more competitive than the last 2 years. They'll be a much better team. Amen to that. Next generation Suns, says Brian. Sharknado fan says Pistons made the playoffs after a devastating 22-23 losses in a row. Yeah, I think they actually lost 28-29. I know what you're talking about, though. What he's saying is the Pistons had that historic losing streak, and then they made the playoffs the next season. And they were really good, you guys. Like last season, they were a good team. The Suns have a tougher West, but they will develop for the good. Amen to that. Let's see. Hernandez says, I'd rather not win and love what I'm watching rather than watching the most heartless ball like the last 2 years. I get what you're saying. I do. Obviously, I want the Suns to win. I want the Suns to win. I want them to win championships and make the playoffs and go far in the playoffs, blah, 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 blah. but I get you. I don't want to watch soulless basketball like we saw last season. He says, yeah, let the team develop naturally like during the bubble. Hope Ishbia learns from that. I hope so, because Ishbia talked about that on Media Day. Alan Snow says, I think John Voida came up with the calling him Watchtower. Then I just thought Malu Watchtower sounds good. Maybe you both just came up with something. Trademark that, Malu Watch, and trademark the tired is just in the mind. Thank you, Haley, for being here. All right. Hopefully I didn't miss your comment. If I did miss your comment or record prediction or whatever, please let me know. Feel free to put it back in the chat. I'll make sure to get to it, because we're going to kind of open the show up to you guys now. I'm going to go for like maybe 15, 20 minutes longer. Let me just take another sip of my water, you guys. But let's kind of open up the show to you guys, and let's kind of talk some other basketball here, if that's okay. I feel like on this oops, sorry, I hit my microphone. Hold on, you guys. I'm gonna go mute real quick. Okay. Are we sounding good? Are we good? All right. What I was trying to say is I hope this season obviously this is a Suns channel. It's always going to be Suns, but like I do kind of want to kind of expand on some NBA teams here and there, or like trending topics and stuff that happens. And that's kind of what I want to focus on right now. So I understand if a lot of you guys click off, I understand you guys are here for the Suns only, and I respect that, and I love you guys for that. So thank you. Like truly, like if you aren't already, please subscribe, please crush that like button, share the show, tell your friends about Suns Geek. It would mean a lot. Ooh, and real quick, you guys, if I can just humbly brag about something, I promise this is a very humble brag. I don't know why I didn't tweet about this. I kind of wish I would have. But when I went to Suns Fan Fest, which was an absolute blast, by the way, from the moment I got there, I had two people recognize me. One of them came up to me, shook my hand, was like, "Can I take a picture with you?" I was like, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "Why not?" And then one guy like kind of noticed me from like afar. He's like, "Hey, Suns Geek, what's up, man?" I was like, "Dude," I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And then like I went to Taco Bell with my sister, like the Taco Bell cantina that's right by the Suns arena. I met a couple fans in there, and by fans I mean like supporters of this channel, people who recognize me. And then I think I met like two other people in the Fan Fest. One of them, really cool guy, makes great music, follows me. I follow him and all that. He posted a clip of talking with me. He was like, I met a Suns legend today. Maybe I'll pull that clip up and we can watch it. But the fact that you guys were nice enough to be like, oh my God, that's Suns Geek. What's up, man? Like, please, you guys, if you ever see me in public, I don't care if I'm at a grocery store, I don't care if I'm at a restaurant, wherever, please come up and say hi to me. It is not a bother. Like the fact that you guys even like notice me, recognize me, that means a lot. Please come talk to me. Like I truly am a normal person just like you. I am nobody famous. So please, like, come say hi to me if you see me. Let's take a picture together. Let's film a little video together. Why not? So if you see me at Suns games this season, if you see me around town, like come say hi. Let's take a picture together. I'll probably take a picture of you and post it on my social media. But truly from the bottom of my heart, at Suns Fan Fest, I had like 5-6 people come up and recognize me. And the fact you wanted to like take a picture with me, I felt like I legit felt like a true celebrity. And I humbly brag about that. My sister was there. She saw it all. She documented some of it. I think I have a clip of me talking to one of the nice people, and it was just so much fun, you guys. Find Geek in the Wild. For real, you guys, I'm around. Like I go especially this upcoming week, because I'm actually taking time off of work. I'm going to be out and about, you guys. So if you see me, please come say hello. And I'm going to try my best to go to the Suns opening night. I definitely want to be there, especially for this new, like, kind of kick off the new Suns era. I definitely want to be at that game. Okay. Sort of went off track with that, but I really did want to get that humbly off my chest. I humbly wanted to brag about it. Again, I'm nobody famous, you guys. But truly, like, even if just one person would have recognized me and asked to take a photo, that's a huge, huge honor. I feel honored meeting you guys, you know? All right. Can we talk a little basketball specifically? Because this was in the news. Did it happen just today? Russell Westbrook. And this was reported for a while, but it became official. Signed with the Sacramento Kings, which I could do over an hour podcast on the Kings. They have a lot of question marks. I could see them winning a few games here and there, but I don't know what their future looks like, especially after they traded away De'Aaron Fox. But Russell Westbrook has signed with the Sacramento Kings, and I think he's wearing jersey number 18 as his 18th season. And let's see, is this a picture real quick? Hold on, let me just double check this before we talk some Russell Westbrook. And one reason I want to talk about Russell Westbrook is because, one, when it comes to NBA history, you guys, he's one of my all-time favorite players, especially like prime Russell Westbrook and like MVP, all-star Russell Westbrook. The dude is just plays with so much intensity and passion and triple-double machine. Isn't he the all-time leader in triple-doubles? Or it's like him or Jokic, I believe. Like, the dude is a baller, man. One of my all-time favorite players. And look at this graphic that Bleacher Report posted, you guys. Year 18 and loading. Like, he's still going, you guys. He could probably play for a few more years. And he kind of completed the rainbow, if you will. And like, I think Underdog had this tweet. Let's see. Yep. Underdog NBA tweeted this out. Russell Westbrook's NBA journey. Drafted by the Supersonics. You heard that right. The Seattle Supersonics. What was it? 2007? Relocated to Oklahoma City. Traded to the Rockets. Traded to the Wizards. Traded to the Lakers. I completely forgot he was traded to the Jazz because he was waived by them. Traded to the Jazz, waived by the Jazz, signed with the Clippers, traded to the Jazz again, waived by the Jazz again, signed with the Nuggets, signed with the Kings. I was kind of like not disappointed by his run with the Nuggets, but like I thought him and Jokic, I guess it was more of the team. Like, I think him and Jokic had a few good moments and great games together, but like I think the team around them let them down. But I was happy when he went to the Nuggets, man. I don't know. I just wish they would have had a little more success together. But now he's with the Kings, and he's one of my all-time favorite players. So I had to spend just like a couple of minutes, couple of minutes talking about Russell Westbrook. Somebody responded to this tweet, said Russell Westbrook's actual NBA journey. Drafted 4th by the Sonics, OKC GOAT, which I would debate that. 345 million career earnings. He's probably made a lot more than that. 18 NBA year career, one of the most athletic players ever. I agree with that. Will end his career in first in all-time points, first in all-time. This guy's crazy, man. But you get my point. Russell Westbrook, first ballot Hall of Famer. No question a Hall of Famer. A lot of people like to focus on Russell Westbrook now. They like to focus on Westbrook the last few years. One of the greatest guards to ever play this game. I love Russell Westbrook, man. Let me just pull this up real quick because I got a couple other NBA things I want to talk about. Then we're probably going to wrap up the show because I'm running on fumes. It's been a long day and a long show. Ooh, speaking of Russell Westbrook. Now remember, this was tweeted before he was signed. Because as you can see, there's a picture of Russell Westbrook right here, and he doesn't look too happy. But I love this tweet from Legion Tweets. Kind of a sad tweet, but it's worth discussing since we're on like an actual NBA topic here. The NBA regular season begins next week. I think it's the 21st, so it's on Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. The NBA regular season begins next week, and I can't believe these players aren't signed. Now, remember, this was before Russell Westbrook was signed. And here's a list of names that the NBA sickos are going to love. Russell Westbrook, now he's signed with the Kings. Former Phoenix Sun, Bol Bol. Bol Bol, former Phoenix Sun, is still a free agent. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. DM me on Instagram if you want, or tweet me. Where will Bol Bol sign? Who should sign Bol Bol? I think it's extremely unlikely the Suns get him. That'd be awesome to have Mark Williams, come on, Mala Watch, Bol Bol, Oso Ighodaro, Nick Richards, but that's not going to happen because of roster spots. Former Phoenix Sun Markieff Morris is still a free agent. He could probably land with a contender, maybe. I don't know. Ben Simmons, former All-Star Ben Simmons, still a free agent. Ooh, speaking of Ben Simmons, please do not unsubscribe to me for saying this. This is my hot take, and I never make hot takes. I rarely do them. I try to stay away from them. Here's my hot take. I would actually take a flyer on Ben Simmons. I would take a chance on Ben Simmons. I know that sounds crazy. I would take a small flyer on him. I wouldn't sign him to a max deal or anything. I would just take a flyer on him. I would take a chance on him. I know I sound crazy for saying that. Talen Horton-Tucker, still a free agent. You guys remember him? Cody Martin, former Phoenix Sun. Kai Jones. Victor Oladipo, who I think is like hooping overseas right now. He's actually like playing well. DeAndre Jordan. I almost said DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Jordan is a free agent. Markelle Fultz, former number 1 overall pick. Corey Joseph. The NBA dunk contest, one of the GOATs in the dunk contest, Mac McClung, is a free agent. And former Phoenix Sun Damian Lee is technically a free agent, but I thought I saw something like he signed with a team overseas. So he's not really a free agent. Shout out to my guy Cody, dude who loves movies. He says, "What's up, everyone? Don't forget to roundhouse kick that like button." Cody, we got to go to Buffalo Wild Wings again, and we should go to Spirit Halloween, man. That'd be a lot of fun. I might have to hit you up, man. Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings sounds so good right now. Sharknado says, let me just fix that. Sorry. Westbrook, where'd the comment go? Oops. Westbrook and the Wizards was just farming 2020 stats. It was crazy. I wonder why the Kings should have went to a contending team. Feels bad, man. Yeah, I think somebody had responded saying like Russell Westbrook on the Wizards was like underrated. They were kind of fun that season to what I remember, and he played like extremely well. Like, go back and look at Russell Westbrook and his time with the Wizards. Like, he was different, man. That's why I love Russell Westbrook, man. But yeah, he says, I wonder why the Kings should have went to a contending team. Feels bad. I don't know why there wasn't many offers for Russell Westbrook. I'm surprised he's not on a contender. Maybe the Kings surprised some people and they're like in the playoff mix, but like, I don't know. If the Suns would have like kept KD and all that, and we had like a completely different team, I would have been like, go get Russell Westbrook. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the Kings, man. The Kings, they just have so many question marks, you guys. I don't know if I want to get into it. They just don't be surprised if in like 2 years or less, they are like rebuilding. Do not be surprised. That's all I'm going to say. I'll save it for another show, another podcast. All right, last thing I'm going to talk about, then we're going to get out of here. This comes from my guy, Charles. I told him I was going to read this on the show, and my good buddy's Charles. So I had to read this. Let me just pull it up. I should have screenshotted it. So I'll kind of zoom in or a little bit so you guys can see that he actually left this comment. But he says, I know it's kind of blurry and you couldn't see it, but he says, this is his hot take. This is his prediction. Let me just lower this comment. Sorry, you guys. So this is going to be kind of the final prediction, hot take, etc. My good friend Charles says, major trade causes disruption throughout the league. Giannis and Trae Young and someone else. So what he's saying is that there's going to be a major trade disruption. It's either going to be Giannis, Trae Young, or somebody else. And I think if last season proved anything, even to the hardcore basketball fans like myself, maybe you, others, even to all the experts out there, last season proved that with the Luka trade, which happened like at midnight, by the way, that I would say 99% of the league is what's the word I'm looking for? My brain's fried. 99% of the league can get traded. Like, it's probably extremely unlikely Nikola Jokic would get traded, but is it possible? Absolutely. I would say 99, 98% of the league is trade eligible. And there's been so many stories and rumors and about Giannis getting traded, you know? It is true. Like, the Bucks didn't have a great offseason, but they didn't have like a bad one either. Like, if they are, let's say we're at the All-Star break in February, and let's say they're like a 6 seed. Like, does Giannis say, you know what? There's no future here. He really does love Milwaukee. He has said that multiple times. He loves the city. They gave him a chance. They made him the star that he is today because they drafted him. And obviously he put in all the work and all that. But you know what I mean? Without Milwaukee, we may not have Giannis. So he truly does love Milwaukee. But like, you know, what if they're not doing well? And then all of a sudden Giannis is like, look, I've won you guys a ring. I know he took the championship from us, you guys, but he won Milwaukee a ring. He led them to the playoffs. He made them a contender for a while, blah, blah, blah. He's a multiple time All-Star. He's a future Hall of Famer. What if he's like, look, I've given my heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears to Milwaukee, and I'm done. I don't know if I would blame Giannis for that. So what if Giannis gets traded, you guys? And then my friend Charles mentioned Trae Young. I think the Hawks had an excellent offseason. They got Kristaps Porzingis. Didn't they get Nickeil Alexander-Walker too? I think they had a good draft. They probably got other guys I'm forgetting about. But what if it kind of backfires and then Trae Young's like, look, there's no consistency with this team. I'm tired of being in the play-in tournament every year. Trade me to a contender. What if Trae Young's like, I'm done. Get me out of here. What if some other player I'm not thinking of asks for a trade, like a big player, a big superstar player, you know? I don't know. Dang, I better get the sorry, I can't read. Dang, I better get the B Dubs invite. Can't be teasing B Dubs. That sounds so good. Doesn't that just sound amazing right now? I should do a live show one day, just like eating B Dubs or like eating somewhere and just talk basketball like while stuffing my face and drinking beer. Let me know if you guys would want to see that for real. Leave a comment or something or tweet me, be like, I want to see that show. I don't know where I would do it at. I'd probably have to get permission too from the restaurant, but yeah, we should seriously do that, you guys. That'd be fun. All right, final thing here, then we're going to wrap the show up. Geek, Ben Simmons would be nice if he wasn't so timid. I agree with that. It feels like he's still afraid to shoot. This team will be running off vibes for 50% of the time, though who knows? I agree with you. Like, Ben Simmons wouldn't really fit this era, this team that we have now. But I still would take a flyer on him, man. Just a small little, like, quick 1-year deal. I don't know. I'm just crazy. That's my hot take. And heck, I'll continue with the hot takes. I would take a flyer on Russell Westbrook. He doesn't fit this team at all. He should go to a contender, but I would take Russell Westbrook. Someone says, yes, laughing emoji. I should seriously do that, you guys. I should just do a random live show, bring my computer, bring the mic, order my food, get a couple drinks, and just stuff my face and just do a live show somewhere. All right, you guys. I think that's it. We talked everything Suns preseason. We talked basketball. We got your record predictions. We talked other NBA stuff. It was an excellent, excellent, excellent show. I'm trying my best to do more live shows, you guys. I'm very busy. I do have other things going on in my life. I got a job and all that, but now that basketball season's here, I'm going to try. I know Yoda once said, I know that Master Yoda, I can't talk. Let me try that again. I know that Master Jedi Yoda Jedi Master said, do or do not, there is no try. But you know what? I am trying to do as many live shows as I can. That's why I'm kind of doing more like YouTube shorts and like quick little reaction videos, because I can knock out all the Suns like news and all that in short videos. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I'm looking forward to this week because I'm taking some personal time off of work. And maybe I'll see some of you guys around. Maybe I'll see you guys at a Suns game or a random restaurant or something. I'm probably going to vlog a little bit. I'm probably going to like document everything from this weekend and this week. And maybe I'll do a fun little separate vlog just for fun. And obviously, if I do Sun stuff, I'll make sure to film that. So, do it while doing hot takes and step up the heat level. I'm not a big spicy eater, but I have noticed the older I get, the more I'm more willing to try spicy stuff. But I can't try that like super brutal hot. I don't know how people do that, man. I can't really do that. All right, guys. So yeah, gonna be a fun week. Gonna be a fun weekend. And guys, basketball season is back in our lives. Like as I was recording the show, there was preseason basketball happening. The Suns preseason has come and gone. Like we can actually look up Suns highlights from this season. Well, this preseason. There's basketball games being played like today and tomorrow. And it all starts October 21st. And for the Suns, it all starts October 22nd. Basketball season is back in our lives. And look, I know a lot of you guys are big football fans. For some reason this year, especially since I just moved back to the Valley in December, I've actually been kind of focusing on football and stuff. Now, look, I am still when it comes to football, I'm still the definition of a casual, but I've actually watched ASU football games. I've watched a couple U of A games. That game the other day against BYU was insane. They went into double overtime. It was a lot of fun. I've watched a few Cardinals games. I went to that Cardinals game when we lost to the Tennessee Titans. That was an awful, awful game. But guys, I'm actually watching football. Like, what is wrong with me? I used to never really watch football. I'd watch it occasionally here and there. Obviously, I'd watch the Super Bowl and like big like championship games and all that. But like, I'm just trying to focus more on like Arizona sports. Like I want to watch more D-backs games next season. I want to like go to a Grand Canyon University basketball game, stuff like that. The Sun Devils play Texas Tech on Saturday, and I've heard Texas Tech is like insane. They're like really damn good. And then the Cardinals play the Packers. Please win to maybe, not save our season, but just please win, Cardinals, please. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's it. You already know the drill here. My name is Brandon, aka Suns Geek, and if it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. Please subscribe, you guys. We're going to have so much content all season long. So get ready. The videos are coming. I still have like media day stuff that I recorded from media day that I'm still uploading. So please turn on notifications, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, all that stuff for so much content. But subscribe to this channel, you guys. It's going to be nonstop content coming soon. And even on like the days when I'm not uploading much content, I'm still at least going to try to get you guys one video a week, you know? So subscribe. And please, you guys, be nice to people. Be the light in the world. The world is so crazy and negative and blah, 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 and so uncertain. Just please be nice to people. Hold a door open for somebody, you know, do a nice gesture. Just be kind to people, man. Especially if you're a true Suns fan, please be nice to people. And maybe we'll see you guys this week. We'll probably do some kind of live show at some point. So God bless you guys. Peace out. And final comment here. Gonna be Valley of the Sun geek now. Are you saying you're gonna be that? Because that'd be kind of cool. Valley, yeah. Are you saying I should be that Valley of the Sun geek now? I don't know. But I'm glad I'm back in the Valley while I'm still recording. Thank you, God. Thank you to my family for moving us back to the Valley. We're back in the Valley, baby. I just, every day I do not take that for granted. I'm so happy to be living back in Arizona, you guys. But anyways, peace out. God bless. Win or lose, Phoenix Suns for life. A brand new era of Phoenix Suns basketball is upon us. Oh, I got to play the outro. Do I even have an outro? Let's find out before I get out of here. I'm so tired, you guys. I'm literally going to like drink some water and go to bed. Yeah, here's my outro. All right. Peace out. God bless. And go Suns.
What's up, Suns Geek?
Oh, yeah. I know I said this last live show and I never did anything about it. But one, I got cactuses under me. But two, I'm going to sooner or later update that outro because that outro is so out of date. There's some great clips in there, but like Kevin Durant's no longer on this team and he's on that outro. So yeah, I'm going to update that. All right, guys. Love you guys. God bless. Peace out. Go Suns. Subscribe. Love you guys. Bye.